Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews. We got one from Pikes Brewing, and they're out of Monument, Colorado. Nate sent this to me in the beer mail package the other day, and his note says purchase at the brewery, fresh. So, and this also has got a shrink wrapped cellophane. Not well, it's a clear label that they've heat shrunk onto this silver can. So, I guess that's a cheaper way of doing it rather than having the cans printed on and dedicated to that. You know, with this type of label, they can use this can for any of their beers and just heat shrink whatever label they want to put on it. So all the cans would be the same. So that may be a cost-effective way of doing it. So, but doing that and having those labels like that, they ought to be able to put the date on these labels instead of printing it on the can. And there's nothing on the can, but he says it's fresh from the brewery, which is good for me and good for him and good for people that are at the brewery buying this. But if that's the only place it's available, which I seriously doubt, that's a problem. So if this goes to the craft beer stores and it sits on the shelf and has no date, guys like me are not going to pick it up. They need to step up to the plate and either print that on this heat shrunk label or have a machine that's able to print that on the bottom once the beer is in the can or while it's on the canning line there, guys. So just my opinion now. So I'm a stickler for this, especially on these IPAs. So thanks, Nate. I appreciate you sending it to me. I've not had this from Pikes Peak Brewing. I don't recall having anything from Pikes Peak Brewing, so this is a new adventure, a new experience for me, trying one of their beers. So thank you, sir, for sending it. I do appreciate it. So let's get on with this one, guys. I don't want this to be a 20-minute video. It has no commercial description here, and it has no commercial description there. So basically, all the information we have is what's written on here. Elephant Rock is a massive sandstone formation imposing itself above the wilderness near Palmer Lake. It is a wild natural wonder and a rewarding sight for those who venture to find it. Our American IPA has a bold, commanding spirit worthy of the local landmark. Over 2 pounds per barrel of late edition hops give Elephant Rock its resinous pine and bright citrus profile. Its monumental flavors worth discovering. Cheers. Chris Wright, founder. So, that's all we have. I saw the information, so evidently this is some kind of landmark somewhere out there, and they've named their beer after that. It says here availability is year-round. The ABV on this is 7.70 according to this. That's exactly what's written on the side of the can here. It says India Pale Ale, Pine and Citrus Hop Profile. It doesn't have the IBUs listed here, but it does have them listed here on Rate Beer, and they say it is 75. But they also say the ABV is 7%, where it's 7.7 on this one. So I don't know if it's a newer version or what the deal is on this. It's got the right picture of the elephant on the label here, just like it does on the can on the website there. So let's get on with this one, guys. This is an IPA, so we'll go over and check out the food pairings for IPAs. Most of y'all probably got them memorized by now. I just about do myself. Your IPAs, cuisines curried in your Thai food, cheeses, the peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue, cheddar. Your more pungent cheeses, gorgonzola, limburger. And the meat is poultry, fish, shellfish, and salmon, and I will add grilled meat to that. I like stuff off the grill. grill with my IPAs, and not recommended for extended cellaring because it is an IPA. So without further ado, this is a big 16-ounce can. So this one comes from the brewery, so we know this one's fresh. Right carbonated, we're getting a nice head. I don't believe I'm going to be able to go get it all in the glass. I'm not. Alright, let me get that around there where y'all can look at that big elephant. About 2 fingers of head on that fairly easy pour. I didn't pour it very aggressive, so fairly well carbonated. A lot of bubbles streaming up. It is a rich, caramelly copper colored, pretty rich amber color on that beer. And it's got, it's not perfectly clear. It does have a little haze on it, so it's semi-cloudy. Looks pretty good though. Let's get a nose on it. Very nice citrusy pine. A hint of some grapefruit in there. Got a wonderful hop profile. Rather hoppy. Another example why they need to date it, so we can get this stuff fresh so you can enjoy it just like this. Now if this thing sits on the shelf for 6 months, it's not going to have nowhere near this hop profile and probably not going to taste as good either. So that's a lose-lose for them and for the beer store and for the consumers as ourselves buying it and it not being as fresh as possible and not buying it again. It's the bottom line, guys. Smells pretty damn tasty. Let's give it a taste and see if it's damn tasty. Cheers. Cheers, Nate. Big hoppy, leafy hop type hop on this. Big bitterness on the back end too with the 75 IBUs. Not too bad. It may be a hair over bitter, but that may ease up as it warms up a little bit too. It doesn't say what hops they use on this, I don't think. I don't think it says on the can. A lot of the brewers don't want you to know that information. They want to keep that kind of secret. But I don't see anything listed on here as far as what hops they did use. Malt, water, hops, yeast, and friends. Pikes Peak Brewing. Well, it has a slightly bitter smell to it too. But it does have a nice hop profile. Well, let's let it warm up and see where it ends up, guys, and we'll come back and do the final chug on this one and the final grade. Rather carbonated. I mean, as you can see, just by pouring that last bit there, it regenerated the head again. So stick around, I'll be right back, and we'll do the final chug on this one, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left here. This beer has got a heavier bitterness than I think the sweetness matches. I don't think it's quite balanced enough. It's a decent IPA, but it's not blowing my hair back or my socks off or anything. So let's do the final chug. There are so many more IPAs out there that have more taste than this. I'm a little disappointed that it's not better than what it is. And on top of that, I know that Nate said that it's fresh from the brewery. That's not going to do anybody any good buying this at a beer store. So, a little disappointed that it doesn't have a date on it, and a little disappointed that it doesn't have the sweetness and what word am I searching for? The sweetness and the balance that normal IPA has. It's a little over bitter in the back end as far as I'm concerned for the rest of the beer taste. So, guys, This would probably be a B beer as far as I'm concerned if it had a date, but it does not, so it gets to B minus. So we're going to give it the B minus, which is the 6, I think. No, B minus is the 5. So we're going to give it a 5 on the scale. I think it's above average beer, but is lacking a little bit in the balance part and lacking the date. So with that being said, let's go see what everybody else thinks. We'll go over to Beer Advocate first, and Beer Advocate says 81 in the good range. That's about where I have it. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it would probably be between 81 and 83. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 86 overall and 68 in the style. I have a little problem with the style wise not being as balanced as it could be, and a little over bitter on the back end too. So, but a decent beer. If you could pick this up really cheap, it would probably be a good package to have. This being a 16-ounce can, I don't know how it's packaged, whether it's going to be in a 4-pack or an actual 6-pack, being 7.7%. I will say the alcohol is pretty well hidden, so it is well made in that aspect of it. But it's a little over bitter. And it's got a lingering bitterness to it too. So, Nate, thanks again for sending this and letting me try it. I do appreciate it, and I've not had this one before. So, guys, if you've had this one, this is their Elephant Rock IPA from Pikes Peak Brewing. Give me some comments back on this one, and let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. See you then.